Why did China and Singapore explode economically, but Thailand and Vietnam didn't? You see, here's the part of economic history that most people never talk about. What happened next? Because in the 1960s and 70s, all four of these countries roughly stood in exactly the same place. Low income, limited infrastructure, and colonial hang-ups. But then two of them made a decision that changed everything. So what exactly did they do next? They created special economic zones, they had cheap labor for global imports, and they focused on infrastructure before consumption. But then Singapore did something that was even smarter than this. Singapore became the financial gateway for Asia. They ruled with law, there was zero space for corruption, and they became a safe haven for global capital. So money started flowing into companies like China and Singapore, but how did they get to be the powerhouses that they are today? Well, the money flowing into these countries compounded and it grew and grew. Factories started sprouting up, and more factories brings more job, which brings economic empowerment. The more jobs that were created, the more skill-based people became. And then suddenly you're no longer developing, and this is where the story splits. Countries like Thailand and Vietnam did grow, but they grew a lot slower. Therefore, less global trust from capital markets. They never became the central hub, they just became part of the supply chain. And that leads to one big conclusion. Economic success isn't all about geography. It's about institutions, trust, and long-term vision. Countries that attract capital end up keeping that capital, and they dominate in the region that they're in and globally. If you want to see more macroeconomic concepts explained simply, follow for more.